Hey there and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. My name is Pete and today we complete the third episode in the Overlord DLC, which is also already the second to last one. In the previous episode we overrid the security lockdown mechanism in Vulcan Station, and today we're doing the exact same thing in Prometheus Station. Now, for this mission we will once again bring Garrus and will also take Kasumi along. And Kasumi can receive an ability upgrade here as we spend 2 points to upgrade her flashbang grenade. Garrus and Shepard meanwhile remain as they are, and our weapon loadout also won't change.
Prometheus Station is a crashed Geth ship full of dormant machines used in our experiment. Our people there have gone silent. It's likely the VI has activated the defense shields to keep you out. Good luck.
Scanning area. Analysis. Generators are providing power for main shield. Warning, the VI infection has assumed control of the Geth cannon. Warning, we are being targeted.
Alright, I think from that short sequence you already get the rough idea of what to do here. We quickly grabbed ourselves a palladium deposit and now we have to take care of these shield generators. All 4 of them have shields of their own, and we could in theory use the Hammerhead's main cannon to slowly but steadily destroy them. However, not only would that take a long time, but as you can see, the Geth turret currently firing at us does a much better job, so by positioning ourselves strategically we can have it take care of the task for us. Once the shields are down, we can then use the Hammerhead's cannon to destroy the shield generators, because at this point they go down in just a few hits.
Warning, Geth cannon is locking on our location. Recommend evasive maneuvers. Shield disabled. You may now target the Geth cannon.
And that's really all there is to it. With the generators disabled and the shield down, we can now take care of the Geth cannon, which can take a bit of punishment but also won't last long.
No further threats detected. Entry into the ship is now clear.
That's all of them.
As we exit the Hammerhead, we then want to grab the palladium crate on the boxes here, before we finally make our way into Prometheus Station.
Attention visitors. This server's facility contains hazardous AI technology. You agree to assume all liability for personal injuries or death that may occur during your visit. Thank you.
We just got word Atlas Station wants a dozen more Geth for the experiment. And I hope this means a breakthrough is close.
Okay, this seems to be the place where Project Overlord got their Geth for the experiments from. So far, however, we find the place eerily quiet.
Hanging around all these dormant machines is creepy. It's like death staring at us from the shadows. I'd rather work at Vulcan Station.
As we go deeper into the station, we can see we are once again being watched, but that shouldn't keep us from grabbing a few credits over in the corner here. And before we open the door on the left here, let's grab a medkit and listen to another log entry.
Glad you just ran a simulation. If these Geth ever wake up, there's a 98% chance we'll be dead within 2 minutes. I'm starting to hate Flanagan.
Now, so far our path through the facility is pretty straightforward, and as you can see here, the VI is actually having a hand in that, as it is closing a door right in front of us. Our detour takes us to the left, where we can salvage a few more credits in a room full of disabled or maybe even destroyed Geth. Heading back into the other direction, we then see more signs of the VI watching us and also blocking our path, which eventually leads us to the next log entry.
Halloween was yesterday. Flanagan ran around wearing spare Geth parts. Spooked the shit out of everyone. Now I definitely hate him.
And if you're now thinking, well, where are all the enemies, then don't worry, they will come eventually. But yes, the first half of this mission is in fact really quiet. Now at this intersection here we can actually jump the barricade over on the right, allowing us to grab another pile of credits from a room full of disabled Geth.
Everything's off wire. Archer declared a lockdown, but our station's already infected. What does the VI want? It keeps screaming at us. Nobody understands.
Now, this right here was the first log entry that was made after the VI had taken over. So far, though, it does not really explain what happened here, but we'll find another log entry soon that will shed a bit more light on the situation.
The VI's closing some passages and leaving others open. It's like it's hurting us. At least the Geth are still dormant.
Well, that sounds oddly familiar, and in our case the same is true as well. So far, no signs of any hostile Geth.
To all Cerberus personnel, in an effort to reduce workplace stress, music has been approved for station-wide broadcast.
Alright, and with that we have in fact already reached the station's control center. We can see the security override as well as a pile of goods ahead of us. It will take a bit of effort to get to them, however.
Scanning area. Analysis. The objective is located on the far side of this impasse.
So, what we have in front of us here is a control panel allowing us to move around some of the floor tiles. The 3 tiles can be selected with the button in the lower left corner, and the selected tile can then be moved around in the respective direction with the buttons at the top, down, left and right. And what we're doing first here is to actually build ourselves a path over to those crates in the back, where we can find a medkit, power cells and a few more credits. Our main objective, however, is to get over to the station's security override. That is the big orange screen that you may have seen earlier even further in the back, and getting there is not all too difficult either after making a few more moves. Alright, here we go, the path is clear and we have made it over to the other side. Before we override the lockdown, however, let's quickly loot a medkit and then hack a laptop for even more credits. And now that we have everything, let's activate the third and final override switch.
Station lockdown accepted.
And there's the catch. I knew this was too easy. Come on, let's move.
Hostile Geth activity detected. Armed response is authorized. Cerberus reminds all personnel that this emergency is now classified information. Disclosure to outside parties is a violation of your confidentiality agreement.
So, here we go, finally we have some action. It seems like in an effort to retaliate, the VI has activated all of the remaining Geth in the station, and while we were able to successfully override the lockdown, it won't do as much good if we can't get out of here alive. So into the first firefight of the episode we go. So far only a few Geth troopers, so nothing that we can't handle. As a matter of fact, it actually allows us to finally unlock the Brawler achievement, as we get punch and shoot combo kill number 20 here in wonderful slow motion. The fight itself, however, is far from over and the resistance is quickly getting much stronger, as the Geth are already sending in a hunter as well as several rocket troopers. With Garrus and Kasumi as our squad members, however, we have access to not one but 2 overloads, and that of course comes in handy against these larger groups of synthetic hostiles. Kasumi can also do a significant amount of damage with her Shadow Strike, And especially against some of the larger, tougher opponents like the Geth Hunter, for example, that will be of use as well. Now, over the station's comm system, we occasionally hear these updates about new Geth being activated, and it's actually a good idea to listen to them, as they reveal a bit more information about just how many opponents we're going to face in the next area. For example, we just heard about nodes 1 to 6 activating, and very fittingly, the group ahead of us is rather small. Now, interestingly, the numbers from the station announcement don't quite match the actual number of opponents, as we just fought 4 Geth and not 6, but it still helps to estimate the rough size of the next group. While we're making our escape here, you will also notice that we're not always taking the exact same path that we used when we walked in. Thankfully though, the new areas that we have to traverse don't hold any additional loot or log entries, so we can keep moving without paying too much attention to our surroundings. What we should keep an eye out for, however, is ammunition, because there are no power cells or other large ammunition drops placed on the way out, and the only way to keep our guns firing is to collect the ammo from our fallen enemies. And considering what we saw right behind the entrance when we first entered Prometheus Station, running out of ammo is the absolute last thing we want to do at this point. For that reason, occasionally switching over to the sniper rifle or any other weapon might be a good idea, even if the rather close quarters nature of this fight would normally advise against it. Also, don't make the same mistake I did and accidentally hop over this barricade again. The way ahead is instead through the door that we came through earlier. We are now facing the next group of enemies, and this time the sniper rifle is actually a decent weapon to start the fight, at least as long as the Geth in the back are still relatively far away. Once again, the VI is sending a few Geth Hunters along with the regular troopers, and those are definitely the most dangerous enemies in the area, since it's rather easy to lose sight of them due to their cloaking ability. Once you have spotted them, they are easy to track even with their stealth mode active, but we don't want to take any risks here, so let's get rid of them quickly before they get too close and can make use of their dangerous shotgun blasts. Before moving on, by the way, it is a very good idea to switch back to something a little more accurate, as we are about to enter the final firefight. Yes, you have heard correctly, Geth nodes 20 to 35, that comes out to double-digit enemy numbers in this room, and no, the count is not too far off this time. Right in the middle of the pack is the Geth Prime that we saw disabled in the stasis field earlier when we entered the facility, and despite it being by far the most dangerous enemy in the area, it is almost always necessary to take out at least a few of the weaker Geth troopers first, since they can lay down a pretty nasty barrage of suppression fire that leaves us with very little room to operate. Especially the numerous rocket troopers, both on the ground and on the elevated walkway that we are currently on, can quickly turn from an annoyance to a severe problem, as the rockets can not only do a good amount of damage to Shepard, but also take out our squad members, and since we're already heavily outnumbered, we don't need to put ourselves at even more of a disadvantage. Now, our eventual goal is to reach the door leading back out of Prometheus Station, which opens up another interesting yet very risky approach to this fight. I have not personally tested this, because I think it's probably more difficult than to simply take on the Geth head first, but at least in theory one should be able to bypass the entire fight by simply dashing to the door and leaving the facility. As far as I know, the door is not locked as long as there are still enemies around, and with the careful use of Adrenaline Rush, a medkit and maybe some squad mates in distracting positions, it might be possible to completely avoid this lengthy combat encounter and to shorten the mission by a few minutes. As you can see though, that is not the approach we're taking, but if you have tested it yourself, then I would be happy to hear if it's possible. In any case, we have now cleared out the area, and that means the mission is completed as well, so let's leave Prometheus Station and get back into the Hammerhead. And there we are, mission 3 of 4 in the Overlord DLC has been successfully completed, and we have overridden all 3 security lockdowns. We received 250 experience points, 7,500 credits and 2,000 units worth of platinum, and we can now finally make our way over to Atlas Station and hopefully shut down the VI for good.
You've done it. The lockdown has been cancelled. You can now breach Atlas Station and end this nightmare. You'll need to find the main server room there to shut down the VI experiment. Good luck.
Now, conveniently enough, Atlas Station is right around the corner here, but before we enter, we can unlock another achievement. Right outside of the station entrance, we can collect the 6th and final data package of this DLC, and this time it's also not guarded by enemy turrets. And with the Data Hound achievement unlocked and the way into Atlas Station cleared, we can now make the cut in today's episode. In the next video, we will complete the DLC and finally come face to face with Dr. Archer's brother David, or at least with what's left of him after merging with the VI. In the meantime, if you enjoyed today's video, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up, and if you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can go ahead and subscribe or check out and maybe pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.